Do you ever feel like no matter how well you eat throughout the day, you are always hungry at nighttime? I get asked about nighttime hunger all the time, and I've been there myself. I would find that I would do good throughout the day, which translated into simply not eating enough. I would eat dinner as scheduled, and then I was finding myself pacing back and forth from the refrigerator to the pantry. These nighttime eating sessions can be accompanied by a lot of food guilt, anxiety about weight gain, and depending on how much you eat, you might find that you're feeling really uncomfortable and bloated too. If you've experienced this, you are definitely not alone, and in this video, I'm going to share 5 reasons why you are always feeling hungry at night, as well as some tips to manage this nighttime hunger. Let's jump right into it. What are the reasons why you are always hungry at nighttime? If you've watched any of my videos before, this first one will come as no surprise to you, but if you're having a lot of hunger and cravings in the evenings, it is very possible that it's because you're not eating enough throughout the earlier parts of the day. One of the biggest culprits of that insatiable nighttime hunger is not eating enough during the earlier hours of the day. People tell me all the time that they do well at breakfast and lunch, and then by the time they get home for dinner, they cannot seem to stop thinking about food, eating food. It is just this all-consuming, out-of-control feeling. And upon further investigation, we usually find that doing well simply means not eating enough throughout their earlier meals and snacks. This is known as rebound hunger, and it's simply your body trying to play catch-up and get what it needs. Another possible reason why you are always hungry at night is your meals and snacks are lacking protein, fat, and/or fiber. Protein, fat, and fiber are really great at helping us stay full. If our meals and snacks are composed mostly of simple carbs, we might find that either A, we feel really hungry shortly after eating, as our body quickly uses or stores those carbs. Or we might find that by the time we get home, because we haven't had a whole lot of protein, fat, and fiber, maybe now we're in a more comfortable environment, the workday is done, we finally start to notice, holy crap, I am hungry. And it's not that simple carbs are bad or unhealthy or that you shouldn't ever eat them. It's just that our body is really efficient at using them, so they don't really keep us full for very long. So that's why I'm always encouraging trying to limit naked carbs and adding protein, fat, and fiber to your simple carb sources. Reason number 3 why you're always hungry at night is that you are on a medication that is increasing your appetite. Certain medications can act as appetite stimulants, and you may find that this appetite and this hunger is manifesting in the evenings. Certain antidepressants, corticosteroids, hormonal birth controls, and anti-seizure medications can increase appetite. If you have concerns about this, be sure to let your doctor know. You guys know I'm always talking about honoring our hunger and eating when we feel hungry, but if you feel like you are always starving and it could be related to a new medication, it makes sense if that feels really bothersome or nerve-wracking for you. Reason number 4 why you're always hungry at night is you are experiencing emotional hunger. Maybe you have eaten enough. Your body has gotten the calories it needs, the proteins, fats, and fibers that it needs, but you're still finding yourself searching out food even though you don't feel that physical hunger. You may notice that this impulse accompanies strong emotions like boredom, sadness, or loneliness. I talk a lot more about emotional eating in this video here, but I do want to point out now that it is totally normal to use food as a way to cope with emotions. But it likely isn't going to feel very good if food is our only way to cope every single time that we feel stressed or bored or lonely. Food may be one tool in the coping strategy toolbox, but it likely won't be very effective as the only tool. And finally, the 5th possible reason why you are always hungry at night is that you've been exercising more. If you've been doing more activity lately, your body needs more fuel. This might be happening if you started a new workout regimen or if you started a new job that was a lot more active. Maybe you have kids and they're in a more active stage of life and you're chasing them around all the time. Your body is super smart and it's able to communicate with you and let you know when it's in need of more fuel. Try your best not to second guess it too much. It is totally normal for your hunger to increase in response to doing more activity. Now, before we get into my tips on how to manage nighttime hunger, I want to answer the question of, is it unhealthy to eat at night? You may have been told that you should stop eating at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because allegedly if you eat past that time, your body is not able to digest that food or it all turns to body fat. There's all sorts of claims out there that place these rules about when we should stop eating. But the truth is, it's not inherently unhealthy healthy to eat at nighttime. Your metabolism and your digestive system, they are never clocking out. They're working 24/7. This means that your body is burning calories all throughout the night. Now, I will say for some people, it's not gonna feel very comfortable to eat really close to bedtime. Those who have gastroesophageal reflux disease or GERD, for example, might find that laying down right after eating can worsen their acid reflux. Or if for any reason you are eating past fullness close to bedtime, you might find that uncomfortable bloating may impact your sleep quality. So again, it's not inherently a bad thing to eat at 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. I encourage you to personally try eating different foods, different portions at different times, and see if there are any patterns of what may be triggering poor sleep quality if you're even struggling with that. Let's finally talk about what to do if you are always having this nighttime hunger. How do we manage this? I know, I'm very predictable, but the first one is to make sure you're eating enough throughout the day. You had to see it coming. Now, I can't say in this video what your nutrient needs are, how many calories you need, how many meals or snacks is right for you, because every single person is different, and even day to day, you might find that your own individual needs are different. That said though, I do encourage you to get some protein, fat, and fiber if you're able to at every meal and snack. These will help keep you full and prevent those blood sugar dips. I also recommend eating every 3 to 4 hours or so, but this is not a rule. You may find that you eat something and you're hungry again in 45 minutes. That's totally fine, but generally speaking, our bodies tend to operate most optimally when they're getting in fuel every 3 to 4-ish hours. This tends to look like 3-ish meals and maybe some snacks throughout the day too. That said, it is totally fine to eat snacks. Snacks are not just wasted calories. Intentional snacking can really serve a beneficial purpose by preventing us from becoming hungry between our meals. When we go a long time between meals and we go into the next meal feeling absolutely ravenous, we are way more likely to eat past fullness. And it's not inherently a bad thing to eat past fullness, but we're not gonna feel very good if we're doing that all the time. Also, speaking of snacks, my next tip to manage your nighttime hunger is to add a bedtime snack in. If you're having a difficult time falling asleep, or you're laying in bed and you're thinking about food a lot, or you're having physical hunger cues like your belly is grumbling, maybe you're always waking up in the middle of the night really hungry, adding a bedtime snack may help. This is especially important if you have an early dinner and a pretty late bedtime. As with any other meal and snack, try your best to include protein, fat, and fiber if you can. This might look like some graham crackers and peanut butter, some Greek yogurt and fruit, some cheese and crackers, maybe some cereal with milk and fruit, avocado toast, or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, oatmeal with chia seeds and fruit, or maybe some popcorn and some nuts. Once again, play around with the types of foods and the portions and the timing that feels the best for you. And my final tip to help you manage your nighttime hunger is to check in with your emotions. If your nighttime hunger seems to be a result of those strong emotions coming to the surface, it may be beneficial to check in with yourself and ask how you can better cope with those emotions. Once again, emotional eating is not inherently a bad thing, and food truly can make us feel better. I know there have been plenty of nights after a long day where I have turned to a pint of Ben & Jerry's to help soothe my feelings. And there is no need to feel guilty about that. That's only gonna make things worse if we have that food guilt alongside of this. Once again, food can absolutely be a coping tool, but try to find other ways to cope as well. Bottom line, if you are always hungry or always thinking about food in the evenings, there's a very high chance it's related to not eating enough throughout the earlier parts of the day. Try to avoid skipping meals and include plenty of protein, fat, and fiber at your meals and snacks throughout the day. Make sure you guys like this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment with your favorite bedtime snack. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe so you always know when I'm posting new videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.